being in Licking County and all my life, I thought I knew everything and I thought I knew every place, but I learned that that's not the case. Most people didn't know about a lot of these establishments. Most small business can't afford to advertise. Chod Eats LLC was born from that.
Starting, sustaining, and having a successful small business is hard, but you already knew that. But wouldn't it be great to have a podcast that talks to and digs in to the people who've made it? Problem solved. This is Local Vibes, small business success stories. Talking to successful small businesses from around America. You'll hear awesome stories about how they got started and how they survived and thrived online and in their communities. We find out their special vibe. Welcome to Local Vibes. Brought to you by UltimateOnlineMarketing.com. Now, here are your hosts, Pat and Angie Cherubini.
All right, let's do this.
Go for it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Pat and Angie Cherubini with Local Vibes. And we are joined today with a very special guest. Actually, to be honest, this is our very first time meeting this person. But I feel like I know you because I follow you and your group. And I have for it's been, I think, a couple years now. And I'll just go ahead and introduce Chod Yarnelli. Correct? Yep. Yarnelli with Chod Eats, support local. And why don't we go ahead and kind of let you tell us your backstory about who you are. Tell us that.
I'm just a local Licking County native. I was born and raised in Licking County and been around here all my life. I know a lot of people. And basically, I've grown up and I've seen how businesses try to succeed. And I've been in a different type of business before where I was successful at that as well. And I gave that up. And, I never dreamed that this is what I would be doing. I work a full-time job as well. I'm an electrician. And so this is just kind of a gig that started by accident.
Cool. So to clarify to people, because, we're going out everywhere. We are from Chod's hometown. We're very close. We kind of know who he is. He's a little different than who we've been interviewing because he's not actually a small business owner that I know of. I think you've turned it into that a little bit, but he grew a Facebook group from 0 to it's almost at 60K right now. And I think a lot of that happened really fast. So I think that's kind of where we want to angle is, where we cross paths, we have never met. We do know what you do. And he has been helping restaurants mostly get more business.
Especially during all these tough times.
I would have never dreamed, but it almost feels like this was designed for COVID. This business that we started was designed for COVID, but it wasn't. This group was started by accident, as a joke by my wife as we were eating dinner one night. And basically it's just because everywhere we go, we're taking pictures of our food. And, and then we're kind of posting that on our personal pages. And I believe it was like October 29th of 2019 or something. We were eating dinner at the Old Bag of Nails. And she said, you know what, let's just start a Facebook group for our food. I said, okay. And
smart woman.
and hashtag Chod Eats was born. And, of course, taking a picture of us. But anyhow, we did the easy things first. We asked our friends and family to join. Next thing you know, it was kind of like Pat was saying, the group grew really fast and some good things happened pretty fast. Mm-hmm. And the first thing was we had about 500 members and I was so excited. I couldn't believe we had 500 members. And as I was speaking back and forth through the group with these people, some of them I didn't even know, we decided that the thing to do, since we're foodies, was to have a big cookout or a big feast, and everybody just come and bring something, and we'll just have a big picnic.
I remember
And that was about at 500 members. So we started organizing this, and it kind of blowed up way out of proportion because when it actually got here, we was at 10,000 members. And it grew from just having a little local get together. I went around to local businesses, and I think we had 35 different local food businesses. And Chod each rented the Canal Market Pavilion, downtown Newark.
Yep.
And we had what I call Licking County's biggest cookout.
That's awesome.
Well,
And
it was awesome.
And that was before COVID.
Yeah.
And, obviously we had no idea what was coming, but you basically started a tribe of local foodies, and the small business or the small restaurants jumped on board. And I say it all the time, compete together. And that's the epitome of competing together. They band together and you started something special.
Yeah. And what I seen as this group started to grow, and I started visiting more local restaurants and finding restaurants that I didn't even know existed. What I learned from visiting and eating at these local establishments was, being in Licking County and all my life, I thought I knew everything, and I thought I knew every place, but I learned that that's not the case. And most people didn't know about a lot of these establishments.
Yeah.
And most small business can't afford to advertise.
Right.
So Chod Eats LLC was born from that. And what I did was, we figured out a way to help small businesses advertise inexpensively but effectively. And we do that on billboards all around Licking County.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to have a friend that owns a billboard company, and it worked out well because him and I worked out a deal that really nobody can touch. And
Nice.
we put four businesses on one billboard, and it's inexpensive for each business that way. And we can still give them huge exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how Chod Eats LLC business was born, and it's kind of growing as well now.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's, you don't know us, but we are marketers and we run advertisements. And that's kind of what led us to this, because we know that a lot of people can't afford us, and we're not out
on the agency
side. We run ads for usually medical facilities and bigger ticket items, but we're local people. We love the mom and pops. I've
done all kinds of websites.
We do website design for them. We're not here to push us, but this is, how we kind of intersect and how it happened. When we go, even on vacation, we go to if it's someplace that we can eat here, we ain't eating at it there. It's going to be a local place. And, that is the way we do it all the time. And we still do it here. And we know that they need help because they don't have the ad budgets that an Applebee's or anybody else has, Red Lobster. They have help. You're the help for the little guy. And I think that's awesome.
Still there?
Yep. You hear me?
Yeah. Okay. We're back.
Oh, cool. So I think what I said is that you're, the help for the little guy that they need.
Well,
and I think it's cool that that's happened.
Yeah. And, I like to tell everybody, I'm just a messenger, really, I'm just a messenger. And I like to give things back that was so freely given to me, because sometimes all a person or a business needs is a chance.
Right.
They need that positive reinforcement. They need a chance. They need somebody that believes in them.
Yeah.
And see, that's so important to me because, it's easy for us just to want to quit, and quitting's the easy way out. And
That
if
right.
it's something, yeah, if something's worth doing, let's give it 100%. And I'm all for finding the underdog and staying on their side, and not telling them how to do something, but showing them how to do it. That's where success is born in my eyes.
Chod, I like you.
Yep, we do.
You're my kind of man. That's exactly what I like to hear.
You think like we think, because we've been around here doing what we do for over 24 years, and
Mm-hmm.
we always talk all the time. All of our clients that we have are like family. I mean, I talk about them as if they are my family when I email them. If I do a mass emailing, we usually have family involved in there because that's the way I feel about them. And so, we have the same vision for
Sure.
everybody, and you want to help them succeed because they're part of your family. And so you do whatever you can to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're a lot alike.
So
Well,
walking.
and I'm sure. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm sure as business owners, you all have met resistance as well, being in business.
Yeah.
I've met resistance on the way. And at first, that really bothered me because I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. And in order to confirm in my own mind that I was doing the right thing for businesses, I went and spoke to businesses and asked them.
Can you tell us about those? Can you tell us about the pushback that you got? I
Well,
can't
sure.
believe somebody would do that, but
Well, when my group first started growing, I'm not very, I guess, intelligent on internet and websites and all that. I was saying, well, why can't I charge a fee for me to advertise for these businesses? Normally when somebody provides a service, they get a fee for that service. So originally, I was going to try to charge restaurants and members to advertise on my page.
mm-hmm.
And I got some resistance immediately from that. Some businesses called it, no, we're not paying to play. We're not going to pay to play.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, here's the thing is, I'm giving a service and it's not wrong for me to want a fee.
Right.
So I come up with Chod Eats LLC at that point and worked out that deal with the billboard company. And now only do I not have a service to provide, I have a place to put this service, a tangible thing. The resistance started going away. Some businesses believe they don't need to advertise, and that's okay.
Yep.
But I look at it like this. Have you heard of McDonald's?
Of course.
Guess what? They're all over the world. They're huge. And guess what they still do?
Yep.
They still advertise all the time.
On all different mediums.
Yes, because if we don't advertise and keep that in somebody's mind all the time, we get forgot.
Word of mouth got you to where you are. It cannot get you to where you want to go. You have to advertise to amplify that message. And that's our business. We talk about that all the time, but we are 100% on board. I mean, for people that don't know, we are in a pretty small town. It's, 50,000 people ish. We're half an hour from Columbus, Ohio. So it's still a pretty small town.
For now.
We've got a big place coming. But I think we've said it since 1998 is when we started doing online stuff. And that's all we've done ever since. We've always said our town is 10 years behind technology wise, 5 to 10 years. And that's the attitude that they have because
businesses have.
Yeah, the pushback you got is that attitude, but they don't understand that you have become an influencer. I don't even know if you know that.
Yes.
I mean, you are an influencer. Kim Kardashian gets $250,000 to make one post on Instagram because you have because she's built an audience and you've done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong. I mean, you've got the eyeballs, and that's the way advertising works.
Yep.
Well, and that's kind of what I've learned. And I'm still learning as I go, because I haven't really learned how to monetize the internet side or nothing. But I believe you build a brand first. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a hashtag Chod Eats brand.
I think you've done that.
I'm patient. The older I get, the more patient I become. And I also work a full-time job. So this is a brand I'm trying to build. And then once I have a brand built, then I can try to figure out how to monetize. And, some people say, well, that ain't right for you to monetize. Well, why isn't it?
It is.
I put a lot of effort and a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize that not only do I work a 40-hour job at work, I also work 40 to 50 hours at Chod Eats, visiting restaurants, spending my hard-earned money on dinner. In the first 2 years, I ate out 3 meals a day.
Oh my gosh.
For 700 and something days.
Holy
Well,
God.
let me tell you, that gets very expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've had to cut back, but I'm still about helping people.
Yeah.
But anyhow, no, you guys have a great thing going. Like you said, you've been building websites and marketing for a long time.
And there's a saying we talk about all the time. You help enough people get what they want, you end up getting what you want. And I think that's going to come to you. That, especially on the internet, you're on Facebook, there's haters. It doesn't take anything for somebody to post a negative comment. But the positivity that you've already done is going to pay off.
It far outweighs.
We're not influencers. We don't know how all that stuff works, but you do have the power and you're helping people. And, just like we said, we haven't met. I can tell you really care. And I think that shines through.
It's kind of ironic that you mentioned positivity and negativity on Facebook, because all across every platform, it's that way.
Yeah.
But we have a team of Chod Eats administrators and moderators. There's 8 of us. And we work very hard and very diligently to weed out all negative. If somebody wants to be negative, go to Yelp, go to Google reviews or Yelp. This ain't the place. And, I get some nasty private messages from people.
I bet.
Why can't we express what we feel? And I say there's a difference between constructive criticism and negativity.
Yeah.
Right.
Negativity is when you want to come on our page and blast somebody. Constructive criticism is when you take somebody to the side and you talk to them, or you message me privately and you talk to me privately. We don't allow negativity, period, on the group. And
that's what
I might have lost 100 members.
They weren't ever going to buy they weren't ever going to buy from you anyway.
Correct.
I've dealt with this, and I think it's important. I think it's important to tell listeners and viewers that really, really think about it when you post something negative online. If you're really ticked off at a restaurant or I don't know, a brewery or whatever, really any business, think about what that can do to that business before you make a comment or before you write a review on Google, and do like what you said, because I've had to do it myself with a winery, a particular winery. We had a horrible experience. I didn't go on Facebook or anywhere else or on Google and write this, awful review. I went first to the manager. I emailed them and I told them the situation, what happened. And I just said that the person that was in charge of our group really needed apologized to, because we were treated pretty crappy. And the great thing about it, they did it. But I didn't have to go on social media and blast that particular establishment because heck, maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they're having a bad night. And people don't realize what their words, what that can do to a business. It can really,
yes, it can devastate a business.
Mm-hmm.
And why would we want to hurt anybody? I don't get it. I don't get why anybody would want to hurt someone.
Well, that's the world we live in. There aren't a whole lot of consequences for the negativity. You used to get punched in the mouth when we were kids.
Yeah, dude, that's
can't
what
do that
I'm talking
anymore.
about.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's an easy way for negativity. They can hide behind the keyboard. And we have kids that are in their, 20s, young 20s, for the most part, and they do stuff online. We just tell them, you don't even need to argue. Just delete them, block them, and move on with your life because you ain't going to change their mind. It doesn't matter if it's business, politics, religion, whatever, just move on. There's plenty of people out there that think like you do. So,
well, tell us, Chod, now we've talked about some negative stuff. Let's talk about some positive stuff.
Sure.
What are some memorable moments that you've had doing this?
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you, the first big moment we already spoke of, it is when we fed like 500 people at the Canal Market Pavilion with several local businesses. That was a huge highlight. Chod Eats actually got nominated and won the Licking County Collaboration of the Year Award.
Really?
I remember, I saw that. Congratulations.
We got
awesome.
to go. We got a big award made by the Works, and
those are beautiful.
It was a huge moment. I mean, I'm just a hillbilly, and when all this stuff started happening, man, it just confirms that what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a couple group members that approached me and wanted to do something around Christmas time to help people out during Christmas. And basically, I was just a messenger, like I tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
These two people organized an event. I promoted it. I pushed it on my page. I told people. I made my presence there. And we had it was like a big food bank where we had groceries and foods donated, and then we had people line up and they come in and people got bags and carts full of groceries to take home.
That's neat.
That was great. What else? I mean, it just goes on because the power of the community is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but all they need is somebody to lead. They need somebody to lead. They need somebody that believes in what they're doing. And that's me, man. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in hashtag Chod Eats. And, I have people that believe in me. So failure's not an option.
Right.
I love that.
That's the way we live too.
So I saw on your personal profile. Hey, did you? And I saw the picture on your website. Did you go overseas? Did you go to Italy?
Oh, we've been there a few times.
Have you?
Oh, and the food is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, this is another beautiful thing about hashtag Chod Eats. What started out as a local Licking County thing has now grown to we have members in 99 countries.
What?
And we have members in every state of the United States. And what I've personally experienced is don't matter where we go in the world or where we go in the United States, if you're going to somewhere in Egypt, you jump on Chod Eats and say, hey, I'm going to be going over to Jib Jab, Egypt. What's a good place to eat? And what happens is within minutes, you have answers.
Yeah, that's powerful.
A
Cool.
huge networking tool.
Yes. A search engine, your own little search engine.
With real
Well,
reviews.
see, you guys are brilliant. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'd love to have a group like yours, though. That's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and that's cool that somebody can do that. Now,
Well,
do you get people recognize you all the time?
Well, yeah, and I'm a people person,
Yeah.
and And I ask the members, man, if you ever see me out, introduce yourself. Let's break bread together, because I have the gift to gab. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And I take the time to talk to people whenever I have the opportunity, because everybody's important. You never know that person that you may choose not to talk to, you could have changed their day. You could have changed their life.
Right.
And that's kind of how I live, because I can remember dark times. I can remember that one person that helped me when I couldn't help myself. I remember that one person that walked for me when I couldn't walk for myself. And those are my mentors, those kind of people. And the only way we keep what we have is to give it away.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
And
yep.
We have younger kids. They're young adults now, but we tell them, because of this thing here, people are going to have issues because they're not used to communicating with people face to face. And, like you said, look people in the eye and say hello. Sometimes that's all it takes to make a friend or make their day better.
And that's why I'm already liking you guys. We're keeping it real.
Yep.
And I shoot from the hip, as I say.
That's why we said when we do these, we're just going to sit down. We're going to have a conversation about what we talk about, and we're going to see where it goes.
Well, and we wanted to give businesses a voice, all different types of businesses, not just food or whatever, and because they don't have a voice, and especially for 2 years now, going through one of the hardest things that these few generations have had to go through. It's been tough, and those that have made it, I commend. We made it, and we're a small business. I commend all those businesses that have made it, and they've had to shift gears. And
and we did everything that we knew how to do. I don't have a professional website, but we tried to post every place that was open for COVID. We continue to try to bring people through their doors. I personally made sure I visited places and bought meals. And, I like to say that we helped people through COVID. And even before COVID, when we first started doing this, we changed the dynamics of some local businesses. Some local businesses seen a 70% increase in business. Really? Now, if that's not huge, I don't know what is.
You need to get those testimonials on your site. Chod.
That's influence. We have, I keep talking about my kids, but we have the two boys that are the oldest that are 25 and 21, 22 almost.
Yeah.
They have a YouTube channel and they're mountain bikers. They race mountain bikes. They do lots of outdoor stuff. They are out influencing people based off of just them being themselves. They ride, the bikes that they ride, they get noticed all over the place. Anywhere in the country, people know who they are if they're mountain bikers. And they're starting to understand that influence, is a real thing.
It is.
And companies understand that people don't read the newspaper anymore. People don't watching TV anymore. We never watch regular TV.
They don't listen to the regular radio.
They don't listen to the radio. They're online, and the people that they connect with, which our boys have a group, the people that watch them and connect with them listen to what they say. And it is powerful, and they do help other businesses the same way you're helping these small hometown mom and pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And see, you guys already know what I know as well, because you just said it. Nobody listens to TV. Nobody listens to radio hardly anymore. This is where it's at.
Yep.
And I'm trying to figure it out as I go. And you know what? If nothing ever happens with this group, it's still been a success. It's still been a success, but I still believe in it, and I'm going to still continue to do what we do because I like to see those group members rise, because I also know that it's about volume. Let's just say, for example, I don't want to make $1 million off of one person. I wouldn't mind making $1 million, but $1 per person.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know that I wouldn't mind making $1 million, but I don't want to do it off one person. I want to make $1 off of 1 million people.
Yep.
Yep. No, that goes
and
right
that's
back to
just-
what I said earlier. Help enough people get what they want, you end up getting what you want. And
Yeah.
that's right behind that.
I mean, I guess I just want to live happy, joyous, and free.
There
Don't
you
we
go.
all? Don't we all?
I want to go to
Yeah.
restaurants on the beach. That's where I
Well,
want to go, Chod.
You're in the wrong town.
Now you can still do that, and I see like a nice background there. It looks like a fern or a palm tree, or
Yep.
yeah. Here's the thing: we all can do anything we want to do. It depends where you put your priorities.
Focus.
You know, my wife and I, we're not wealthy by no means. We have raised 2 boys, and our third just turned 18. Our daughter just turned 18, and but we have priorities. You know, it's not so much about having things anymore for us. It's now about having experiences.
Making memories.
Whether that experience is going to the local restaurant and having a fantastic meal with friends, or making new friends there, or if it's traveling to Italy to have dinner. And it took us a long time to get our priorities straight, because I think as we're young people, you know, our priorities are completely different.
Yep.
You know, we have to learn how to be a parent. We have to learn how to pay a mortgage. We have to learn how to pay for car insurance and a car and the groceries and electric, you know.
Yeah.
But there comes a time, it did for me, and I can only speak for myself, that money's nice, but we don't have none. And it's okay, because it's not that important. What's important to me is spreading cheer, happiness, and my gratitude with people, and seeing them change and being positive and grateful and happy.
Yep, I love that.
You too.
So, you know, now that's not to say I don't have bad days. Sometimes I want to kick the can down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
This is our
say,
co-host
poor me.
here that interferes with
Yeah.
every single time.
That's all right. That's a good co-host.
Yeah.
Right?
See, we're not very professional around here. We just have
No,
18
you know what?
cats.
Here's the cool thing is, you're very professional to me. And I tell people when they talk to me, you know, I'm no professional either. You're talking to a northeastern Licking County hillbilly.
Get out of here.
She's back again.
And that's okay, because I really don't want to be somebody that I'm not.
Right.
You know?
Yep. I understand that 100%.
So with Chod Eats, how's it going now? You know, we got through, you know, knock on wood, hopefully the worst of it. And, you know, how's it going now?
Well, Chod Eats is, I always tell everybody, I'm always working in the background. I'm always working on the next thing, because I like to surprise people with the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a new local business that just opened called Stein Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Been there.
And well, what happened is we collaborated for the soft opening. And what Stein Brewing Company did for Chod Eats was over and above what most places would do. And what they offered to do was have a Chod Eats special soft opening day only for Chod Eats members.
That's a great idea.
Well, because David Stein knows the power of the group.
Yep.
You know, he's a businessman.
Not dumb.
And he knows the power of the group, which I respect him for that, because he was going to feed 150 to 225 Chod Eats members free of charge on the soft opening, you know, 2 days before their grand opening.
Mm-hmm.
So he created a link for people to sign up. And what happened was the link didn't work properly. So instead of 100 people or 200 people signing up, 500 people signed up.
Oh no!
Yes. So now this created a little bit of a problem, but being the businessman that he is and a restaurateur, he adapted and he ended up feeding. He added one seating that night. So there was 3 separate seatings that night. He fed about 350 Chod Eats members free of charge. And the ones that he couldn't accommodate, I believe he sent them a gift card.
Wow.
Now, what kind of business is that?
That's
That's
phenomenal.
one that's going to succeed.
That's one that's successful.
Yep.
That makes me like them even more.
Well, and here's the thing. That was so they could try to work out the kinks. Everything wasn't going to be perfect. It was still fantastic in my eyes, and I was appreciative. And, these are the kind of things that Chod Eats has been able to achieve. A lot of local restaurants that offer group members a 10% discount if you mention Chod Eats.
Cool.
Not all of them, and that's okay. So there's a lot of good things that has come from the group for the members. Our latest new thing was I experienced something on a cruise one time that I wanted to bring home, and it was called the Chef's Table. All right, and it's a special event. It ain't for 300 people. It's for 10 to 20 people. For Chod Eats, it's first come, first serve. I worked with a local restaurant called the Clover Key, and we're getting ready to feature the first hashtag Chod Eats Chef's Table in collaboration with the Clover Key.
I have to
I
admit
asked them,
something.
yes.
I don't know where the Clover Key is.
See? Chod Eats. You have to jump on Chod Eats. But the Clover Key is on State Route 146 between Newark and Zanesville.
Gotcha.
Oh, I know where you know where that is.
Okay.
You do.
Right between the two gas stations.
Yes.
On 146.
Right by Lowe's. It's right after.
No, way back. It's way back by the Stone Lang Company.
Yeah. Okay.
The Lang Stone Company.
Yeah. That's what I was just telling him. I'm like, you know it.
Yeah, but anyhow, I asked for 2 weeks so I could sell the spots for the Chef's Table. And I posted the link. The Chef's Table sold out in 23 minutes.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. That's fantastic.
That's the power of the group. It's nothing I did in particular. It's just the power of the group.
So are you at those chef table, or are you and your wife there?
Yes. That was part of the whole thing is I would like to have a seat at the Chef's Table, my wife and I, because I want to break bread with these members.
Nice.
So this restaurant has been around a while, right?
Yes.
How do they feel about what you just did? Have they talked to you? It hadn't happened yet.
They are, no, well, number one, they can't believe that I sold the spots out in less than 23 minutes.
That's the thing is people don't get it.
Yeah. So, and this is what I tell them. I will take care of my end, and that's putting people's butts in the seats. All you have to worry about is your end. You're the chef. You make sure that the people sitting in your seats want to come back.
Right.
It's my job to put the people in the seats. And we've been real.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, well, we've been blessed. And I think Pat hit on it. It's being an influencer.
Yep.
I try to keep my ego in check, number one. I have to. Because ego can get in the way of things.
Yeah.
So I try to stay humble, but I also try to understand, that people put a lot of weight on what I say. So I don't want to say things false or negative. So when I speak of something, I have facts first, because people rely on what I say.
Yeah.
But we're going to have
people
a
should do more of.
Yeah, everybody.
Get the facts
Everybody
first
should
before
speak
you open your
truth.
mouth.
So we're going to have a really nice 6-course fine dining experience
Nice.
at that restaurant. But I can also tell you, come around June, people might want to watch the page pretty close in the announcement section of our Facebook group, because anything that's important to me or that I want to highlight, that's where I put it. Because I really don't know how to run the website, so it's kind of stagnant. And I know that I really need to do something there, because Facebook could pull the rug out from under me whenever they want.
Yeah.
It's happened, and that's something that we preach all the time as a business person. You know, you said that restaurant, their job is to get the food out. Your job was to put butts in the seats. We tell them that they need to have a list of their contacts, you know, of those people. So when they do have a good time, the next time they contact them, they can come back.
Yeah.
Cat, get out of here.
And that's I'm lacking in that area.
Because we know several people that have lost Facebook pages and accounts. My personal account was stolen, and they ran up $15,000 on my credit card.
Oh, my Lord.
I did get it back. It took about 3 months, but to this day, whatever I post gets seen by almost nobody, because it was Vietnamese. They were posting crap, and it can happen, you know, and your page is tied to your personal profile. So you know,
We'll talk to you. We'll discuss that later and be able to give you some pointers and help you.
Sure.
But
we've tried to grow our other socials as well. You know, we've got a YouTube channel, and I've been trying to hit 1,000 subscribers on that. I'm stuck at like 850. Instagram, I think we're around the same, 850 or 840 on Instagram. So, I mean, I'm kind of learning as we go.
Yeah.
I learned everything on Facebook.
Yeah. And that's where your focus is. And that's where, you know, where your focus grows. It's hard to spread everything out and get, you know, spread yourself thin. And, you know, don't forget about Facebook, because that's your group, and your food. I mean, that's built for Facebook.
Yeah. And man, we have chefs on that group that post. I've got to go to Columbus and do soft openings for restaurants there. And, you know, and I've got collaborations happening all over the place. And the problem is people want to get me to the restaurant, but there's so many I can't get there, you know, on time. Well, yeah, because this job that I work gets in the way of everything.
Yeah.
You know,
darn job.
The 40-hour job gets in the way of all the good stuff.
Wouldn't it be fun if we didn't need money?
Well, man, it would be. It would be actually.
Yep.
Maybe you just need some help with that. We could help him.
Well, and I'm pretty sure that I do need help, you know, and I've got to be able to get to a point where I can financially afford to help.
Yeah.
And, you know, because you can't expect anybody's services for free. At least I don't. But let me tell you, I've met people that do expect services for free.
Oh, so have we.
But what I've learned is you only get out of something what you put in it.
Right.
So I'm trying to build Chod Eats LLC, and to do that, it's going to take a while, you know, to get to a point where I can start reinvesting more back into Chod Eats LLC, because Chod Eats LLC has only been around for 2 years, and it's just hard to make money. I mean, I haven't just quite figured out how to do it yet. Right.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something though, because you just to help, you know, and when you help people make money, you know, it'll come back. You just gotta figure out that whatever that strategy is and keep hammering on it.
So let me ask, are you, and unfortunately were you, a Bummies fan?
Yes. We didn't visit Bummies a lot, but Bummies Foods was fantastic. They was just always too busy for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For the people that know,
we had a bad meal.
For the people that don't know, that aren't from around here, there's I don't even know how long they were around, years and years, you know, decades. And it was a Hamburger Joint, local gastropub that was bought by another family not that many years ago, and it went crazy. Great hamburgers, could never get in, and it burnt to the ground just a month ago or so.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it's a family out of work. We've actually been to a benefit trying to help them out, but that is an extreme case. What is, now that we're where we are through whatever we are, what do they still need? Not just Bummies, like all of them. What do the small restaurants
need? What do you see?
Well, they need customers in the seats. Things have got tight for all of us. People's budgets aren't allowing them to go out to eat as much as they were. We just had another local business closed up on Saturday, and they're auctioning off all their equipment on April 8th. And it was one of my favorite establishments. And it was the Keto Cafe and Catering, downtown North Ohio.
We just saw that. We were by there this weekend and saw the sign.
And
I've been in there too.
It wasn't because their service was it wasn't because their service was bad. It wasn't because their food was bad. It was because they didn't have those people in the seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID has changed things for a lot of small businesses. Some for the bad, but others thrived during COVID. Others have done better business during COVID than they did prior to COVID.
Really?
They learned how to minimize cost without indoor seating, and their profits grew larger because they're not paying staff. So some businesses actually did way better during COVID than they did prior to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. You learn from struggling.
You got to commend those businesses those restaurants for doing that. Because I can't even imagine. I mean, it was hard enough for us for our business and with our clients, but I can't imagine being a brick and mortar
somebody had to come
like that you typically relied on people coming in, and they couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, overnight shut you down.
Yeah,
Hopefully
they were pretty
again.
amazing.
Yeah,
those businesses were pretty amazing, and they got pretty creative. I tell you, for example, Moe's Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
They had a client that frequented Moe's, and that client offered to donate X amount of dollars for Moe's to make food to deliver to first responders. And I was lucky enough that they asked me to collaborate with them. So they had a donor that donated to Moe's. Moe's prepared all the food, and Chod delivered it to the first responders.
That's awesome.
It was good for everyone.
Yep.
But it helped Moe's stay alive. We tried to frequent during COVID. My wife and I still tried to frequent every business.
Yeah.
We tried to do our part, and we like to say that we can sleep at night knowing we did what we could do.
Yeah, good for you.
That's awesome. So what are your thoughts on Intel coming in?
Well, it's going to change our county.
Yeah.
And it's not, I can honestly say that I'm very grateful that I live in the most rural part of Licking County we have left.
Yeah.
And that's the far northeast corner of Licking County. I'm right in the corner of Knox, Licking, Coshocton, and it's still pretty rural out here on Dirt Road.
Yeah.
But in my 50, Eden Township, Purity.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
We're in Licking Valley, so we're not that far from you.
Yep. So, but you as well as me, in my lifetime, I've seen Columbus grow this way.
Yep.
I've told my boys that. I said, when I was in high school, they always said Columbus and 161, the road attaching our cities Columbus was going to come all the way out there. And we're like, no way. The people that don't know, Intel, the computer company, is building like the world's largest manufacturing plant in our county. And
yes,
the things we're hearing I know some people that have had some meetings with them, and the main one they just said is you cannot fathom what is coming.
Well, we think we can.
Yeah.
You and I maybe think we can, but we've never seen the likes of this in our lifetime.
No.
Because it's going to be, like you said, the biggest plant in the world.
Yep.
A blue collar guy like me, it probably is not going to affect me positively. Because, I'm getting farther up in age where I want to get out of the workforce soon.
Right.
I don't want to work. I don't want to work in the workforce very much longer if I don't have to. But I don't know. Our children and our grandchildren, man, they might see things we only dreamed of.
Right.
True.
Now, do you remember when it took an hour to get from Newark, Ohio to Columbus?
Absolutely.
On 161?
Yes.
And now you do it in 15 minutes?
Yep.
Well, do you remember when New Albany was just cornfields?
Yeah, with a feed mill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is now a brewery.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll
But
take that change.
I don't know. I mean, we have to roll with the punches, brother.
Yeah, there ain't no stopping that one.
No, we roll with the punches. We play the hand we're dealt, and we try to see where we can fit in and do our part. Because there may be a part for us.
Yeah. Well, one of the questions that I like to ask at the end, towards the end of these things is, you are plugged into this one, so I know you're going to have the answer. What is the local vibe like now in Newark?
Well, I guess it depends where you go. When you say local vibe, I guess, do you mean like local nightlife?
People.
I guess
not
people.
Dancing, not clubs, people like us that are supporting, support local.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that don't do what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, it seems to me, that want something for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfortunate. But it takes all kinds of people. But there's also a lot of people out there that support every day somewhere. I run into some familiar faces, don't matter where I go, there they are. And those are the people that support local to me. Right. They don't just go to one place all the time. And either do I, because I don't like to eat the same thing every night.
Right.
I like to spread the love. The hot spot, of course, right now in Licking County is the newest spot.
Right.
And it's Stein Brewing Company.
Yep.
But it's new. They got 36 different beers if you're a beer drinker, and you serve yourself beer.
I had the steak bites as an appetizer, and those were phenomenal.
Get the pretzel with cheese.
We tasted our friends, and it was really good.
It was so good.
So there's not a bad place in town. It's just some people prefer other places over certain things, and that's okay.
We still go everywhere, but haven't gone anywhere a lot lately. But I still, going to a chain just doesn't sit right with me anymore, because you either go local or you're going global, and global ain't taking care of the local anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool, because I was getting ready to tell you a little BS, but because I had a Wendy's cheeseburger a couple weeks ago. All right.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that I've had fast food in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it wasn't fast. All right. So I had to wait for my double cheeseburger, which it was delicious, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did it when I could have just went to a local mom and pop, spent the same amount of time and the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I had a fast food first time in 2 years.
It just makes you appreciate. All you did was you reaffirmed that appreciation for the mom and pop. So that's okay.
Yeah, I like that. It's good to keep your money local wherever you are, wherever local may be.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree. Well,
I can tell you that my wife and I and my daughter visited Maui last June.
Oh,
And of course, the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to find all the local food spots.
yes.
So guess what we did? We found the local food spots. I shared a picture and a review of a local pizza shop on Google Reviews.
Mhm.
And I was astonished when I got an email the other day that it's been viewed like 35,000 times.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got some pictures that we've posted that's been viewed almost 1.7 million times. So I need to learn how to turn this into something.
Yeah.
Because our posts and our reviews are making a difference at places.
Most
They
definitely.
are making a difference.
Yep. I would start by sharing some of those numbers with those people. That's you kind of lead with the results because you are driving people there. You got to change some minds about marketing, and that's not always easy to do, but you're already leading with value. You're giving people business basically for nothing. You're just driving people to the local businesses. And as long as you can figure out a way to, you're not an ego guy, so it's going to be hard for you, but you got to let them know where it came from. And, I'm not sure how you do that yet, but that's
right.
That's the first step. Once they know the power that you have, the ones that don't, there's a whole industry growing up or booming because of the influencer word. You hear influencer all the time. It's because they drive. It's not always a good or bad influence. It's they drive money, and that's what it all is.
Yeah, and when Intel gets here, the dynamics of our county are going to change big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I think our downtown is even going to change.
Yes, there's going to be new things. There's going to be new restaurants.
They'll have to be.
There's going to be how many people is this plant bringing? Did you hear the numbers?
Yeah.
The plant itself is bringing 9,000 high-paying jobs, but with what comes with it is the number. I have some people in construction and some government that said the housing, the amount of houses that need to be built just in our area is 20,000.
Yeah. See, now that's crazy.
And 100,000 apartments. So that's not 9,000 people. That's a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And they all need to eat somewhere.
Well, and a lot of people need you to. And I'm hoping that a lot of people may need me.
Oh, yeah.
Because, without a need, we have no value. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like to tell myself all the time, you do have value. You bring something to the table. Because if you're not bringing nothing to the table, you have no value.
Right.
And I don't just want to come and sit at the table. I want to bring something to the table when I come.
Yep.
Because I want to have skin in the game. When you have skin in the game, you work hard.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And there's a whole lot of younger people that need to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have a great thing going. And I've checked your company out before, just nib shitting, as I call it.
Yeah. I did the same to you, man. We call it stalking.
Like a creeper.
Yep.
We can be creepers or stalkers. You guys have a great thing going. And I want to commend Angie. Is that correct, Angie?
Yep.
Is that your name? I see that you've went through some pretty tough times here lately. Yep. Well, guess what? There's a different plan for you. And you're a winner. You're a winner.
Thank
you. All right? And you're successful no matter what. So just know that.
Make me cry.
Well, no, it's okay. We're human beings. Yep. And like I said, as I was stalking and creeping, as after we became friends, I accepted your friend request. I seen things that you've experienced, and your experience and strength and hope can help others. Only if you share it. It is. Only if you share it. But just remember, we have to share our experience, strength, and hope.
Yep.
All the time, because we never know who we're affecting. We might affect someone and not know it for 20 or 30 years.
Yep.
Because that happened to me.
Yeah.
I realized as I got older, man, this person influenced me. The first $50 bill I ever made in my life was so huge to me. I remember what I was doing, how I earned it, the guy that gave it to me.
Really?
I stayed friends with that guy the rest of my life until he passed. But that first $50, he gave me a chance to make $50 when I was a kid. Now, I had to split a lot of firewood. And for an 8-year-old kid, that axe was heavy.
Yeah.
But guess what? At the end of the day, that guy influenced my life. So we never know what we're doing for people, man. So keep doing what you're doing, Angie.
Thank you.
Well, that's honestly what kind of started. We've had a couple of little podcasts, and we've been in business doing local business for 24 years, and we do have a lot of experience. And with what we've been through the last 8 months now or so, we can't help everybody. Like you, we want to get the word out to try to help a whole lot, knowing they're not going to hire us, but we want to give information that we know. So Applebee's doesn't eat the whole world. We don't want those places being the only choice you have, because if you don't go to these small places, and it's not just restaurants for us, it's small business.
Yeah, period.
I order from Amazon. I hate myself every time I do it, but it's still a thing. These small mom and pop brick and mortars, they need people to keep going to them, or they're going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't shop at Walmart. I don't shop at Amazon. Now, my wife, on the other hand, is a whole different story. You know where I shop? I shop at Main Hardware downtown.
We do that.
I shop at my local farmer market. I go a couple roads over to buy my chicken, beef, and pork off of a farmer. Now, granted, the price is a little more, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm getting a better product.
Yeah.
Now, Amazon is a thing. I can't stand to buy something from Amazon. I can't even try it on. I want to try something on. If I want a pair of boots, I want to go somewhere and try a pair of boots on.
Yep.
Now, I go take my wife to Walmart, and I sit in the car for 2 hours. And I'm mad. I'm mad when she comes out. But I refuse to go in there.
Yep.
But it's okay. It's because I'm old school.
Yep. And I think it's going to have to go back to that, and that's, keep preaching what you're preaching. And I think your reach is going to get bigger, because
I do too.
People need people like you.
Yep.
And
yeah, well, we need each other.
Well, that's right. And people like us that are trying to save the world, one little mom and pop at a time, need help from other people to realize that that's what's happening. Yeah. So I want to be respectful of your time. We're about at our hour. So, what's the best piece of advice you have for somebody that wants to start helping like the way you did? What do you tell them?
Well, I tell them, number one, it doesn't take any money to start something good, start something new. And what I would also say is believe in yourself. Number one, believe in what you're doing and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in what you're doing and in yourself, you're wasting your time. Don't spend any money or energy into something you don't believe in.
Right.
So, it's pretty cut and dry. And don't start something that you don't want to finish.
Right.
Keep the doors open.
Yeah. And always be eager to learn, always be eager to listen. And sometimes that's really hard for me, is to listen. And I have to learn to do that more, because sometimes, as people would tell me, you need to take the cotton out of your ears and stuff it in your mouth. All right?
2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason, right?
And my mentors tell me that.
Yep.
Take the cotton out of your ears and stuff it in your mouth. Listen. And, it hurts the ego, but when I get out of my comfort zone, I grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the best advice I can give.
Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. Otherwise, you'd have it already.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything you want's just right on the other side of that line.
Yeah.
Draw a line in the sand. Yeah, draw a line in the sand, but never keep moving the line. Leave it there.
Yep.
Anything else? Do you have anything that you would like to ask us? We're here. We got some experience. We can help whatever you need.
Well, there's probably 100 different things that I would like to ask.
Do it later.
But maybe we can get together some other time, because
100%.
Obviously I would like to collaborate with both of you at some point, somehow. And because I think it's one of those things where maybe we can help one another.
That's what we're about.
And when we help one another, we can also help other people.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. We got to keep helping. It'll take a few days for us to get all this stuff edited, and we'll get it out there and share your story more.
Why don't you tell people, exactly how they can get in touch with you, especially if there's an establishment that would like to sign up with you and do the chef's table or do a soft opening like Stein's did. How can they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Well, probably the same way you got in touch with me. Number one, the best way is Facebook Messenger or Facebook, but you can always go to chodeats.com, and I believe we have links to all of our socials on there.
You do.
Right there on his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hashtag Chod Eats Facebook. We're Chod Eats, Chod_Eats on Instagram. And I think it's Chod Eats on YouTube. But you go to our website, and I think you can find an email link and everything on there. And someday I'll learn how to do that and make it much better, because I'm really lacking on there.
Yeah, we'll put all that information down below, and I encourage you to jump in that group. It's a free group. You just jump in. There are people, foodies, just like everybody, that's sharing information, sharing pictures, sharing recipes and places to go. And it's support local, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Well, I really I feel honored and privileged that you guys invited me to your podcast, and it's been a real blessing just to see your faces, and maybe we'll be lucky enough to break bread together somewhere.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to. That's not a maybe. We have to.
And just so you know, you're like number 5. Is this the 5th one?
Yeah.
We're still pretty new, but you were one of the ones we just knew who you were, and we knew what
I had you on the list.
What you stood for without ever meeting you, even though you probably only live 10 miles from me. But
I think you got a great podcast.
Well,
thank you.
We're trying. We're gonna keep trying to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, I got what I call the Chodcast.
Yeah.
I did Chodcast, but it didn't go well because I run out of things to talk about, like after 3 things, and I was just always talking to myself.
Yeah. And that's what we do. All we got to do is ask a few questions and let you talk. It's not about me. It's about our guests. So we love hearing the stories, and we love what you're doing.
Maybe you'll have to share some of your favorite places with us, and we can interview them too.
Well, and I would also like to share your podcast, this version here. I can share that on Chod Eats LLC. And
we put it out in podcast and on YouTube, so you can do either or.
We'll let you know when it's ready.
Thanks for listening to the Local Vibes Podcast. Brought to you by Ultimate Online Marketing, where we help small business owners like you build the ultimate system that generates more leads, phone calls, and most importantly, more customers. Join our group by going to ultimateonlinemarketing.com/group. There, you'll find live discussions, tips, podcasts, videos, and just plain real talk on how you too can be an ultimate online business. See you next time.
Bye-bye.